Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be trying to address some feedback that some people had with our slicer panel that I released in the last video, which if you haven't watched, that's available here, in the link or card that I'm trying to post right now. And that feedback was people don't know when a slicer is applied on the other panel. So what I've gone ahead and done is I have created this card visual right here that when a filter is applied, it will change the color of the icon, and then there's a tooltip that when you roll over it, says the filters that are currently applied. So, I just applied a filter to fiscal year. When I roll over it, it now shows the fiscal years applied and it's filtered. If I select multiple values right here, it'll show that they're filtered. And then if it's not filtered at all, it'll say not filtered and the icon color will change. Now, in this video, I just am going to address the SVG icon piece of this because this is honestly a pretty complex piece of functionality to build. And I think we're going to have to break it up into two videos. So let's go ahead and let's build out that SVG functionality. So what are SVGs? I'm probably not the best person to explain this, but they're scalable vector graphics, which essentially means that they are images or icons that are in code, which means that you can scale them fully up and you can scale them fully down. You can also edit their properties using code. Microsoft has released what they call Fluent 2, and as part of that, they've released a whole series of icons that are free and available to use under the MIT license. You can access this via the GitHub, or you can go access it through Figma. However, this is a massive repository, so you're going to struggle accessing it. So instead, I've gone through and I've found this Flycon website, which seems to have them all available to download. And as you can see, if we start going through them, they have just a massive number of icons. So like I searched info, and here were three options. Alternatively, I could clear this and I could look at animals, and they're going to have dog, bunny, rabbit icons, bug icons. They have arrows, charts, communication icons, all kinds of things. So this is where I'm finding my icons. I inserted the icons using the new card visual. So you can insert the new card visual by clicking this icon right here, and then you can insert a image by turning on the image section. So let's start and let's go ahead how I did that. First, what I did is I went into Power Query and I manually entered in data. And I entered in the data, so I created a table and I put in two columns. So one is icon name and the other is the SVG icon text. Now that SVG icon text is just something that I downloaded off the website I was just showing you. So let me show you how you can do that. So let's just say I wanted to insert this animal of dog, What I could go ahead and do is I could go ahead and I could click export and I could save it as an SVG, and then I can go ahead and I can open this file. And here's the SVG in the web browser. Now, if I right click this and then go view page source, I can get the actual code behind the SVG image. So what I can do is I can go ahead and I can copy all this out, and I could probably have held Control A there, and I can bring it into a tool like this SVG image icon. So what you'll see here is you now have this SVG, and this SVG image is within what's called a view box. The view box right here, so this is how you control the I think this is the height and the width, and then X and Y. Let me just confirm that for you. View box, and let's take a look at this. So if we look at our view box here, we are going to have our it's our X, so our position of where it is on the X axis in the view box, our position of where it is in the Y axis in the view box, our height, our width, and then our height. So let's just say we wanted to make this slightly bigger. What I could go ahead and do is I could go 2300, right? And it's going to get slightly wider. And let me just update this to a 3000, right? And as you can see, it's kind of changing its position within the view box, kind of conversely, right? If I now go back to 33 right here, it'll now go up, right? And then I can change where it is in here by going negative 10, 100, right? And if you can see, it's moving down 1000, right? And then I can go through and edit it from the left and the right. So I can go 100 here, 1000 there, or I could go negative 1000. So as you can see, I can not only change the size of the icon using the view box property, but I can also change the position of where the icon is in the view box. Finally, I can also control fill here. So like if I wanted this to be black right here, right, I can enter in 6 zeros and now it's black. Alternatively, I could go to the color picker right here and I could take this hex value and I can go ahead and I can put it in here. So now I've got an orange dog. So in Power BI, you can actually load these images into a text column, but you need to do a few things first. So let's take a look at what we're going to do. So in order to get it to display, you need to go ahead and you need to preface it with this data image and then tell it kind of a little bit about the image that you're putting in. So for example, that's an SVG, an XML format using UTF-88. Once you have that, what you can do is you can then copy it and you can put it right in front. I then am also going to use the substitute function in a measure, and so I'm going to look for specific strings. So I'm also going to dynamically set the view box just by default here to the 100s, right? And then I'm going to set the fill to pure black. So I'll go over here and I'll set the view over to pure black over here. All right. So I can then take this SVG image right here and I can copy and paste it into my table with a name. So for example, I could call this dog icon, right? And I can paste in this code and I will now have a dog icon. When I now go close and apply, what we'll do is we'll see it load and we'll see it load into our data model. If I go over and look, I now have this icons table, and I'll zoom in a little bit, with icon name and SVG icon. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in, I'm going to move my video over really quickly here. I'm going to go into this icons table, and I'm going to set the SVG icon data category to an image URL. All right, now this is important, so I'll set it to an image URL. All right, so now what do we have? We now have an icons table with a name for the icon and then the SVG XML code for that icon. What we can then go ahead and do is we can edit that SVG icon by using some, well, just frankly, some pretty simple DAX. So let's take a look at what we're doing here. So I've gone ahead and I've made a measure in here called isFiltered, and it's just using the isFiltered function to check and see if the fiscal year is filtered. And then I've made an icon in here, or a measure in here, called filter info icon. This is going to do a few things. First of all, it's fetching the icon that I want. So in this case, it's going to return just one icon, and it's going to base it based on the name. So if I go ahead, and right now, if you look down here, I'll zoom in a little bit. If you go ahead and you look down here, you have this little eye, right? Because it's set to the info circle icon. If I change this to dog icon, right? Okay, now it's a dog icon, right? If I change this, and I'll go back to book info icon, it'll change it to a book info icon. Okay? So what this calculate is doing is it's filtering down my icons table, which is the table that we just created, which is where we're storing all these icons, to just return the icon that I want based on what I named the icon. So it's just returning that SVG code. Now the SVG code, up until we tell Power BI, hey, this is an image URL, you got to render, is just a text string, which means we can then use it to, or edit the viewbox code using the substitute function and edit the image color using the substitute function. So first I'm going to edit the viewbox code. And what I'm going to do here, right, so I have the 100, so I'm finding that expression that I typed in over here, right, the 100, 100, 100, and I'm editing it over here until I get it to the size I want. So maybe I want this icon to be much bigger, right? I can go ahead and I can edit it here, or much smaller, sorry. It'll go a lot smaller there. If I want it to go bigger, I can go in the opposite direction, right? And I can go here. All of a sudden, that icon's going to get way bigger. And then if it's not centered on my text, I can go ahead and I can adjust where it actually is. So, right, so like if I want it now to be up more, right, I can go minus 2000 and I can edit its position and how it's centered in relative to my text, right? And if I go ahead and I now change this to my dog icon, right? So look here, now it's a dog icon. I can now bring it back down. So I can now go negative 2000, right? And I can actually like center it in on my text here. Finally, the other cool thing that we can do is we can dynamically edit the color using the substitute function. And we can create two different versions of that same icon. So in this case, right, I've got a hex, and let me try to get that center. That's going to bother me. I think we want it negative 3000. Nope, that sent it further down. All right, we'll go negative 2000. Okay. All right. So here's that dog icon, right? It's centered. What I can then do is I can then edit the color. And I'm using that is filtered measure from over here, right? Where I'm just saying, hey, is it filtered? To then change the color by dynamically editing the SVG icon. So if I now go back over into my text right here, you can see I created I fed the result of my now scaled image into a green SVG icon and a gray SVG icon. So if I now want and I'm going to replace this just with a true or a false just so I can demo. So if I now want a gray icon or green icon, if I set this to true, now it's green. If I want a false icon, if I set it to false, now it's gray again. Or let's just say I want to create a pink icon. I can go var pink SVG icon. And I can take this exact same code right here and I can substitute, because all this is really doing is it's just doing a find and replace, right? So let's go back over to our color picker right here, and I'll go a nice pink icon right here. So I now have a pink icon. All right, and if we now instead of using the filter icon, if we instead now return our pink icon, you'll notice it's now returning a pink dog, right? And if I now change this back to my info, I think, what did I call it? Let me go back. I initially set this up. So if I now go back to my table, right, and I'm saying I called it info icon circle, right? I can now set it back into that. So I can go back here and I can go info icon circle. Okay. And now here we go, we got a pink, but you can tell it's not centered, so let's bring it down a little bit. Right, oh, I went too far, so we'll now go back up a little. And you can see how you can move these around until you get just the view that you want with them. right? So this still isn't quite there. So we'll go 400. Nope, not quite centered. 300. There we go. Maybe 350 or 350. Oh, and if you notice, I put in a extra 0 there. So there we go. So now it's nice and centered, and then if I want to bring it closer, right, I can go -50. You'll see it'll get closer and closer until eventually I can actually go the opposite way. So I can go 0, right? Or I could go 10, right? I can go 100 and right here. And you'll see there it's starting to actually run into the text. So the closest you can go without cutting off the icon is 0. All right, so there we go. So that is how you dynamically create this measure. Now let me show you what this measure actually looks like if we bring it into a table. So I'm going to create a table right here. And here we have kind of some measures that I created to power the other part of this. But let's take a look at what this is actually returning. So I'm going to bring over my info icon right here. And here you can actually see the SVG string that we're building, right? So here's our view box, here's the actual path, and then here's the color code that we are setting, right? So now I'm going to go ahead and delete this, and I'm going to show you how I got it to render that URL that we just built. So if I go back to my card visual and then I go into images, what you'll see is that I then set all, and then I set image URL, and then I just went into this FX and I just told it, hey, go look at this measure icon. And just like that, it's gone ahead and it's actually created my icon. And then you can have this be over on this side, you can have it be below, and I think there we go. And you can have it be to the left, right? And so you can edit the position of this much more dynamically using that view box. That's the power here, right? So like, let's just say we wanted to go in the other direction, right? Oh, I went too far. And so it's really, really powerful stuff, right? So there we go. We just brought it in the other direction. So now let's go negative right here. And we'll go negative 1,000 right here. And then we'll go 5. Oh, and I think that was too far. And you can actually kind of play with this just a little bit. So hopefully you now understand how to use SVG icons in a little bit more dynamic of a way. I'm introducing a concept here of kind of like an icon table that I haven't seen a lot used very widely in production, but that I find super useful. If you have any additional questions or concerns, or anything I said isn't clear, feel free to leave a comment. I'm still learning and growing on these videos, but I appreciate your time and hope you learned something. Thank you. Bye.